crazy mother.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, man. I got a small punch list of things that I'd like to complete on khaki. We gotta get the alternator on. I'd like to see the sidewinder manifold on. The turbo that I have for it has kind of gotten a little rusty. Honestly, I might end up ordering a new turbo. I would like to get the shifter in. We have a shifter sitting here to put in shifter cables. The only issue with putting the shifter in at the moment, did you guys see my brake handle there? Yeah, it's right in the way of where that shifter needs to go. But I don't want to lose my brake handle, so we're gonna have to fabricate some kind of bracket. We'll figure that out whenever we get there. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this damn alternator cleaned up because it looks like it came from under the ocean. To get it bolted on, because that thing is just front and center and ugly as all hell. All right, so this is what this thing looks like as of right now. Starting off, just gonna be taking a wire wheel to it, trying to get all the dirt and oxidation off of this aluminum. All right, so I got this thing cleaned up to the best of my ability. I'm not gonna lie, it's not perfect, but it definitely looks a ton better than what it did. Now, going ahead and getting this thing installed, dawned on me something that I still haven't even yet tried the alternator in the car since I clearanced the headlight bucket. For all I know, it still wasn't gonna work, but luckily, we got plenty of room. Kind of looking at it though, I don't know if the headlight is gonna fit. Does the headlight fit with the alternator right here? Any of you EF K series guys, let me know. Anyhow, now that I got the alternator all shined up, the starter looks absolutely disgusting. All right, got the starter cleaned up, got the alternator cleaned up. They look a lot better than what they did. At least they don't look like they came from under the sea anymore. Now, I really want to put the manifold on. Honestly, I'd like to start working on radiator, etc. But we have kind of a really important thing that we should probably establish before doing any of that. And that's the damn engine harness. I do not have the EF conversion harness yet. I just learned that I was going to need that. I was kind of thinking that, I know this plugs directly into the ECU. I was thinking I was going to have to like do some custom wiring to run my gauge cluster and everything to this basically. But to my surprise, I guess I shouldn't be surprised, they actually have a conversion harness for that. So it's just plug and play for the most part. There are some wires you have to do, but I need to order that. So anyhow, for the time being, I need to kind of clean this up, dude. There's some stuff on here that I don't think that I'm going to need on here. And then a lot of the electrical tape is really old and brittle and it's kind of falling off. So I'm going to do my best to just kind of clean this up and get the wiring all closed back up. All right, I've gotten all of this crap off of there so far. And a whole lot of loom and dried up electrical tape. I taped this section because it was a lot of bare wires and this stuff is just all cracking. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this split loom stuff off of here because it's definitely seen better days. Try to give this a little bit of a twist. I'm not gonna twist it too crazy, but just kind of twist it a little bit, you know, to get all the wires to stay bunched together. I'm not going to put too much tape. It was just kind of a really quick layer over it, and I don't have a whole lot of overlap. It's because I want it to still stay pliable to where you're able to move it around. Whenever you put too terribly much tape on there, it gets really stiff. Anyhow, I'm going to try to get some of this loom over now. Hopefully I can get it over these damn plugs. That's what that's going to be our only issue. Just be about that long. This reminds me of like a snake eating a mouse. Alright, got this thing off of there. This is that plastic cover that goes over the coil pack harness. Well, the section of the harness that's for the coil packs. And yeah, I'm going to take this thing inside and just kind of scrub it in the kitchen sink, get it cleaned up. Alright, got this thing cleaned up the best that I can. For the most part, I just electrical taped it, you know. A lot of it still had loom, but the loom was in really bad shape. So I just went over it with electrical tape. I tried to do it as tasteful as I possibly could. So obviously this area where the coil packs go, that plastic piece, I got that all cleaned up because that's like visible from the top. And then the injectors, on some of the areas where I know the harness is going to be visible, I try to get some of this expanded loom on it, on the injector harness. And down here, yeah, this section right here, this section is what is going to end up going through the firewall. I got some of that expanded loom on there. Yeah, dude, it definitely looks a lot better than what it did, you know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and start routing this, try to get as much of this all plugged in and everything as I can. Obviously, we don't have injectors on there yet, and at least get it stubbed through the firewall, and I think that would be huge progress for one, and for two, then I'll be free to go ahead and put the turbo manifold on and not have to worry about accessing a bunch of plugs back there, you know. I did pick up some brand new hardware for the exhaust manifold as well, or turbo manifold. I did not remove the two studs that are in there though, because it just makes it so much easier to put the gasket and the manifold on. And then the rest of them are going to be the bolts. That was like the only bolt I can reach with this. I should have known that. Alright, so got the harness for the most part ran. It's sitting where it needs to be. Not everything's plugged in. I noticed really quickly that I'm going to need to get some straps to be able to kind of tie some stuff down. So I'm going to pick those up, but the main focus right now isn't necessarily getting the harness ran. I really wanted to get the manifold on, and I'm seeing that with the manifold on, yeah, I'm not going to be able to have this water neck right here. So I was just going to loop that anyhow for the time being, because obviously I'm not running a heater on this car. So anyhow, I am going to have to remove this water neck, this like copper piece that's pressed into the aluminum. This one and that smaller one right there. I'm just gonna pry those out of there in order to use this guy. Jessica's actually up at Phoenix Nut and Bolt for me right now, picking up some other stuff. I just called her with the measurements to some bolts. So what I'm gonna do is, since I already have this thing all painted and everything, I'm gonna try to just get some bolts to fit inside of those holes and see if I can get them to just kind of cut their own threads, you know? We'll see whenever she gets here with the bolts if we'll be able to make it work, and just put some RTV on it and just let it cut into there, you know what I'm saying? So from there, that will free up the space that we need right there. And then the only other thing, I need to get rid of this metal pipe, which will get rid of this hose. And then definitely gonna need to order one of those billet housings right here, one of the water necks that has the AN on the end, the -16 AN for the cooling line, because we're gonna delete that pipe and I need to get rid of that. Either way, we're gonna delete all of that stuff. The only thing, if I can get the bolts to work to block that stuff off up there, the only thing I'll need to do then is get this billet piece here and then get a block off right there to run the other manifold, in which I'm gonna have to paint and everything. Or who knows, maybe I'll just cut this one since we port matched it. I swear to God, I'm gonna bust myself in the face with this thing. Ho 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 ho! Got that thing out of there, good lord. All right, got that guy out of there. I had to drill it out, honestly, because that one fought me a little bit. And here is the bolt that we're gonna be plugging that with. I would tell you the size, but I honestly don't know. I just know that this is a 11/16. 11/16. It seems to be cutting pretty good. Alright, we got our threads cut in there. It does still get a little bit tight towards the end, so I'm gonna put some RTV on it now. Go ahead and just put a nice coat. Ooh, God, this bolt is hot, boy. Good lord, why didn't it burn me right away? God, that took a minute. Freaking A. I grabbed it and I was like, I'm surprised this thing's not hot. It just took a minute. It eventually got there. Alright, now as for the hole on this side, that's a much bigger hole, buddy. I had Jessica grab two different sizes. This one is 5/8 of an inch. Come back! Well, I guess really I don't need that one. And this one is 3/4 of an inch. And the 5/8 of an inch is way too small. The 3/4 is the one that we're going to have to make work. So I'm going to need to, yeah, basically cut threads with this guy. So what I'm going to do with this one is actually put a little slice in it right here so that it has a place to basically cut, and when it's cutting it has a place for the debris to go. I don't know, I've seen somebody do that at some point where you just put a little cut right here and it helps it to cut threads in there. Alright, let's give it a shot. Well, guess what, man? I don't have a socket that fits that damn bolt, dude. I was trying to do it with a crescent wrench, but I can't get it to grab with a crescent wrench. It's like a It's like a 29 millimeter, 28, something like that. I don't know. Braven just headed down to Harbor Freight. He had to pick up some other stuff for another project that we're going to be working on here soon. And I told him to grab a socket set. He took the bolt with him. So I just got to wait for him to get back and we can finish that up. But, alrighty, man. Moving on. We got to get this, my brake lever dismounted from here. So I've always kind of wanted to remake this bracket anyhow because I made it out of aluminum and it's kind of floppy. Like, it never really caused me any problems, but I would like it to have a little bit more of a solid feel. But anyhow, we got to unbolt that and get it out of the way. I'm about to get these bolts from the bottom. Those are, I think they're 12s. Maybe I might be able to get it through here. Maybe. Oh my God. Bro, such an awkward freaking position. Come on, loosen by hand. Please, please. It's going a little bit. Oh my God. Yay. Pushing. Oh, I lost the rest of it. Got it. Alright. I really hate that I am bad at remembering names and stuff. You know, I would assume you guys kind of understand. But one of you guys sent me this. The boxes kind of went to shit. It didn't look like this whenever you sent it to me. But this is from Acuity. I don't know. It's K-swap shifter adapter plates. This is going to make it to where we're capable of just simply bolting our shifter on here. But yeah, this and the shifter was sent out by a subscriber. Huge shout out to you, man. I most certainly appreciate it. I apologize. I can't remember your name. I was searching for the messages, and I literally, for the life of me, cannot find it. But anyhow, we're going to have to mount up our shifter plate first, and then the shifter will bolt on top of that. Setting it on here, our holes on the back right here line up. The holes on the front do not line up. We're going to have to actually drill those. So what I'm going to do is actually put these bolts back in here, the ones that I took out, so that those will actually fill those holes. What's really nice about this mounting plate is it has this foam pad that goes on the inside of it. So whenever you tighten this thing down, it's going to put a bunch of pressure on this lip right here to basically make that all airtight. Probably go ahead and throw some bolts in the back of this guy just to make sure it's lined up good. I'll just use my bolts that I just took out for the time being, and then we'll switch out to the bolts that came with the kit after we're done, because we're just going to use this for marking. That looks pretty good right there. Mark it. If Sharpie fits in there, a Sharpie does not fit, does it? Nope, a Sharpie don't fit. Damn it! Alright, then I'll just use the drill bit. Need a hole there. Need a hole there. Kind of way. Bubble those boys out a little bit. We got some adjustability. Alright, so the back of the plate bolts there. The front of the plate, you got to drill the holes, and they have this piece included with it. You got to put through the bottom of the car upwards. So then we'll have some studs to slide the front of the plate on. Does it line up? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Alright, well, it moved. Okay. It's alright. Gotta make one of the holes an oval, that's all. Gotta make both of the holes an oval, that's all. Okay, so what I believe you're supposed to do, oh, there goes my nuts, is you install some nuts on these and tighten it up. Alright, I'll get a socket. Oh, that's very nice. Okay, now try our plate on. So that goes on the front. Oh, you're getting beveled, my friend. Beveled. Come here, drill. I need you. We won't tell nobody about this one. First try. Now put the bolts in. And now put the nuts on. Alright, apparently the nuts are 12s and the bolts are 13s. Alright, well, that thing is on there, buddy. And now the shifter, you can just simply bolt it straight down to the plate, and it's adjustable. You can bolt it there, or you can slide it a little bit more forward, bolt it there. That's pretty sick, dude. I like it. And it looks like we got ourselves some hardware. I think I'm just gonna use these bolts without the purple washers on it. I don't think khaki is a purple kind of car, you know. Alright, before I screw this on, I want to get a template of it, because it looks to me like to make a plate to actually put my handle on here, that I could literally just make a plate that goes in between the shifter, just in between the shifter and the mounting plate. Just make a plate that will go to the same bolting holes, and just use the same bolts and just bolt the plate in between them. And when I make the plate, make sure it comes out far enough that I'm able to position this guy somewhere, probably up here like this. Hell yeah, that will work out perfectly, but I need to make a template. Alright, I'm just going to use tape. So I'm going to run a piece this way, so it'll make it easier to peel them all up at one time, because it's going to take a few layers. There's our template. Alright, we're going to have to pick back up on the hand lever later, because as of right now, I don't have any material wide enough, because I want something that's going to actually span across this entire thing. It's got to stick out far enough to allow us to bolt this to it. But the only steel that I have, because I don't want to use aluminum again, it just had too much movement in it. The only steel that I have is this wide. Plus, I think it'd probably be better if I wait till I get the seat in and actually make sure that it's in a good position. So we'll go ahead and just get the shifter bolted on for now, and we will revisit that later. I'm gonna go see if I have any of those MPC washers. I have a drawer full of MPC hardware. Alright, let's see what we got in here, because this is what it came with. I don't know if you guys saw it earlier, but they're straight up purple, bro. I just can't do the purple. Alright. We have some black ones, but since it's sitting on top of black, maybe I ought to do the silver ones. What the hell, man? Bolts don't fit in here the way they should. Yeah, let's do the black. I think the black will look good. Bro, why didn't anybody tell me I literally just installed this thing backwards? Y'all didn't say a single thing. You know, I've noticed some people do like dumb stuff like that on purpose just to generate comments. I promise you that I genuinely just accidentally put that thing on backwards. It's not just to generate comments. All right, now the real question is our firewall hole gonna work? Oh, fingers crossed, man. Hopefully. God, that's a lot of gears inside a khaki, buddy. Oh, see, now that right there is exciting. That's got me hyped up, wanting to finish this car for sure. God, that came out sick. Oh, by the way, the hole in the firewall, absolutely perfect. I will say the cables, I think I've seen that this is a pretty normal problem. I ended up turning that spacer around the mounting plate. I turned it around and I set the shifter as far back as it'll go because it just gave it, you know, like that much extra slack for those cables because the cables are kind of long. These are just factory RSX type S cables. Yeah, you see they come out of the firewall right there and then they swoop over and they do that and then come up. It feels pretty smooth. Well, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if them being like an S like that, if it's gonna cause problems or something. Throw it in the comments down below, but yeah, it feels pretty smooth. Hey y'all guys, Braven still is not back from Harbor Freight. I have him picking me up a set of these things also so I can get this engine harness under control because it's a little crazy. And of course I need to finish this guy, but he has my damn bolt with him getting a socket. And of course now while he is gone and he has the bolt with him, I found that I actually do have the socket size. It's in my axle nut kit, but now I don't have the bolt, dude. I'm gonna go ahead and end this here though because I'm running out of time. This is a same day video for me. Everything that you guys seen today is exactly what it is that I did with my Friday. It is now 7 o'clock on Friday, May 22nd. I need to get in there and edit this for you guys. It takes, I don't know, like at least 2 hours to edit. So I'm gonna try as hard as I can to get this up for you guys. It's gonna be up a little bit late. Now you know why. But yeah, dude, we made huge progress today, man. We got the turbo manifold on, got the engine harness cleaned up, we got it routed, and oh, the alternator, got it all cleaned up, got the starter all cleaned up. The shifter cables, of course, we still need to make a plate. I need to make a plate for that guy. I got to get material so that we have our handle up there, but I'm also going to need to put my seat in to get a good understanding of where it is that I'm going to want it, because now the shifter is kind of tall and, you know, I got to figure that out. I need to figure out what belt that I need for this, since now it doesn't have air conditioning. When I got this engine, it had the AC compressor down there, so the belt that I got with it is too long. I need to do some research, unless you guys know a part number. If you know a part number, please throw it in the comments down below. I definitely appreciate that. I need to get this piece, the billet piece, that's going to allow me to connect dash 16 AN line. I got to order that. We're going to be deleting all the heater hose stuff. I do believe that this block off, I need to order that block off. I do believe that it has an output that just recirculates it down here. I do believe. So I need to get that block off, and I need to get this billet piece, and I believe it has a hose that just recirculates the water
water out of the head, maybe back down here. I don't know, dude. I was looking at the block offs, and the one that I was looking at has a line to recirculate, and that billet piece has also a place to recirculate. It's what it was called. So I don't know. I'm just gonna have to order those things and figure it out whenever they get here, I guess. But yeah, I need to order a new turbo from Max Speeding Rods. Throttle body. I have injectors. I have 1000cc injectors. I just gotta find them, clean them, and then I need a fuel rail. There's a lot of little stuff here and there we still need to get, dude, but definitely making good progress. I hope you guys are just as excited as I am. I'm getting more excited as the car is getting closer to done. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't been too exactly stoked to work on this damn car. Realistically, I just want to work on my Blazer and the Yukon out there, but I can't do that until I get this done. And as it's getting closer to done, I am actually getting kind of excited because I know this car is going to be a ripper, and be able to take it out and beat the hell out of all my haters, man. All the local haters. I freaking love all the local haters. They get so mad because, you know, they can't ever win against khaki. It sucks to be them. It's great to be me. Later.